Hi, it's Ruth here from IELTS Help. I'm going to do a series about vocabulary. One of the common topics in speaking and writing and reading and of course in listening as well is about the man-made environment, including buildings, structures, public spaces, etc. So, you often have to describe a house or a public building in the IELTS test. Read with me, speak with me. Let's go. I live in Brisbane, Australia. This city is known for its Queenslanders. That's a style of house built with timber slats with a wraparound veranda to catch the afternoon breeze. These houses can be quite cold in the winter because the cold air comes right through the floorboards. The latest art gallery, Goma, is typical of the architectural style in Brisbane. Lots of metal, glass and concrete are used. The shapes and structures are angular, modern and sharp, creating a feeling of vastness and grandeur without all the ornateness of European architecture. It's simple yet commanding. So I'm describing structures. I use words like timber slats, veranda, floorboards, architectural style, metal, glass, concrete, angular, modern, sharp, vastness, grandeur, ornateness, simple yet commanding. Can you speak like this? So, of course, to get a high score, especially in reading, you need a very high level of vocabulary. Do you know what this type of house is called? It's called a bungalow. Bungalow. Repeat the words after me. A marble-tiled floor is this one. The tiles are the smaller pieces. A marble-tiled floor. Which picture shows a double garage? It's this one. Of course, this family has too much stuff in their garage to fit 2 cars, but still, it's a double garage. This picture shows I think a house that belongs to a rich family because they have a pool overlooking the ocean. This house and this house are suburban. Suburban. Not in the city in an apartment building, but on the outside of the city where there's many single houses. Suburban. This picture is modern and sleek. Modern and sleek. The bungalow is in a leafy tree-lined street. Can you say that? A leafy tree-lined street. And finally, the bungalow also has this area at the front of the house which is protected from the rain, and this is called a front porch. So notice in English how we're always combining words together, and you have to learn the words together. Keep learning. Don't stop doing this every day, describing what you can see. Here is a bedroom, here is a house. How would you describe this bedroom and this house? Speak with me. Let's go. My bedroom has a single bed with a bedside table next to it in the corner. There is one window over the bed and a desk along the same wall as the window. At the other end of the room is a low chest of drawers, also called a lowboy. Here. And on this I can put my phone charger and other important things. I have 2 desk lamps, one on my desk and one on my bedside drawers. What a wonderful example of how you can describe a room in your house. Now, you might get this in IELTS Speaking Part 2, or you might have to use lots of understanding of prepositions in the reading and especially in the listening test. Let's do the house. Speak with me. Let's go. I live in a fairly large house that has a pitched roof and 3 windows in the roofline. This house looks very European in its architectural style. It is a 2-story house. It is rectangular and the front face is the long edge. On the upper level, you can see 2 windows and 3 doors that open onto the balcony. On the bottom level, there are several arched doors that open to a wider balcony accessible by a wide staircase. Are you talking with me? Are you speaking all of the little words a, with a, next to, it, in, the, a desk? Let's come over here. A 2-story house. The, on the, open onto the. Prepositions, articles, you need to recognize these, especially in the listening exam if you have to label a map or a diagram. Don't stop practicing. Every day, describe what you can see. Can you talk about your hometown? This is my hometown, Brisbane. Listen. Some people like to joke about my hometown and call it Brisboring because the CBD is reasonably quiet and many shops close at 5:30 p.m. So lots of young people would prefer a more exciting city. But I like living here because it still feels like a big country town even though it has all the conveniences of a big city. Actually, there are 2 million people in Brisbane, but it's sparse. You know, the population is spread out over a large area. I love the green spaces and river walks. Because the town planners have allowed the environment to grow, Brisbaneites also see lots of wildlife, bush turkeys, possums, even wallabies. The shopping centres are modern and it only takes an hour or 2 to get to some of the best beaches in the world. My favourite spot is a place called Howard Smith Wharves, which is a renovated foodie precinct under the iconic Story Bridge, right on the river. You see the bridge here? It's iconic. It's a really recognisable thing, iconic. Look at these vocabulary, reasonably quiet. Repeat after me, reasonably quiet. More exciting city. A big country town. Sparse. Green spaces, river walks, shopping centres. A renovated foodie precinct. Try to combine words together. Can you talk about your hometown? You might also have to describe buildings to give extra detail in an essay, for example. So I wonder if you could describe these buildings. They're very different, aren't they? This one looks like a spaceship. This one is ancient. This is a cityscape with lots of skyscrapers. This is a floating palace in India. And this is a typical grand home from my town. It's called a timber Queenslander. Look at these questions here, number 2 and 3. You might get asked these in a speaking test in part 2 or part 3. So you have to be prepared. You might also have to show the examiner how you can rank or prioritize. If the examiner asks you what's your favorite building, you have to compare to others. Do you know these words? I think something is breathtaking because it is very elegant and attractive. I find something very old-fashioned. Something means absolutely nothing to me as I'm not familiar with this cultural style. Something is not as beautiful as another thing because. Buildings like that one leave me cold. They are too angular with sharp features. Leave me cold means no emotion. Building X or something, could be art, could be music, made little impression on me. But something different is really exciting and inspiring. So you can use this video, you can go back and check if some of these words can be used in these pictures. Please practice, take the time. Oh, and the last one I almost forgot is this word, nostalgic. Nostalgic. It makes you think of wonderful memories. Can you put these words into the right columns according to whether they are emotive, emotional, or physical? Now you can pause and try to do it by yourself. Here is the answer. These are the emotional ones, and these are the physical ones. Study, 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 and practice using the words. You should also show the examiner how you can change the word form. For example, when I saw the Taj Mahal for the first time, it made a huge impression on me. Or, when I saw the Taj Mahal for the first time, it impressed me enormously. So, in IELTS, in speaking, you might get a part 2 like this. Describe a neighbourhood you know that has changed. Where is it? When you first went there, what it looks like, and explain how it has changed. So all the vocabulary I've introduced to you in this video, you can try to put it into your practice. And here are some typical part 3 questions you might be asked. What about in the writing exam? How can you use this vocabulary in the writing exam? You might get a discussion essay. It is often argued that the government must spend money making public buildings and spaces beautiful. Others disagree, saying that areas like health and education deserve more money. Discuss both views and give your opinion. Or you might get an argument essay. Governments should spend money making public buildings and spaces beautiful. To what extent do you agree or disagree? So in the speaking slide before and now in the writing slide, and definitely in the reading and listening, you need high-level vocabulary to describe sculptures, buildings, streets, houses, public spaces, architecture. Use this video, speak with me, and keep learning. Good luck with your English and, of course, your IELTS.